Let me ask you something uncomfortable, fire starters. When was the last time you looked at your partner and thought, damn? Not, she's nice. Not, he's a good parent. I mean, I want you right now. Because here's the truth no one wants to admit. Most relationships don't die from cheating, they die from boredom, neglect, and emotional laziness dressed up as real life. Bills, kids, schedules, groceries, and suddenly the person you couldn't keep your hands off is just a logistics coordinator with a shared Netflix password. Today, fire starters, we're talking about how to keep it hot after the dopamine wears off. We're using brain science and ethical masculinity, baby, to ensure your relationship doesn't become a polite roommate agreement. If you think this is just how marriage goes, you need to stay because that belief is exactly what's killing your sex life. So, what does the biology of boredom look like? I mean, attraction fading isn't a failure, it's a shift from dopamine, which is your novelty, right? To oxytocin, which is the safety. Now, a good relationship needs a good combination of both of these things, a balance. But the problem for most couples is that they trade eros for efficiency. You've optimized your life, but sterilized your bedroom. That is not hot. That is not attractive, but it is pretty predictable in most relationships. Psychologist Esther Perel notes that desire requires distance and otherness. When you know exactly what they'll say, what they'll wear, what they'll smell like every second of every day, the mystery, which let's be real, that's the fuel for desire, boys, it evaporates. The ethically masculine man, he doesn't whine about it. He engineers the space needed to spark that jump. All right, look, I can sit here and quote neurobiology all day, fire starters, right? But I didn't learn all of this in the laboratory, although, I do study psychology. I learned it in the wreckage of my own life, to be honest. About, I don't know, 6 years ago or so, I signed divorce papers with a woman I once called the woman of my dreams. And if you asked me then, I would have told you she changed. I would have told you she became a snoring roommate. I didn't even like her. But the cold, hard truth of ethical masculinity is that I let the fire go out because I stopped being the one holding the match. I made every mistake in the book. I mean, I stopped the 3 second physical anchor. I'd walk through the door after work, barely grunt a greeting, and head straight for the couch. I mean, I was trading romantic dates for marathon video game sessions like a child. I let my competence slide. I became a supporter who was just there. And because I wasn't providing any masculine polarity, she stopped being eminently feminine. She didn't feel chosen, so she stopped being desirable. She escaped into the Facebook for hours. She'd play video games on her phone for hours. She'd head straight to her friend's house, right, just to drink wine and join the garbage husbands club. I mean, we were both just waiting for the clock to run out. And this is where it got bad, right? I mean, I started noticing other women, at the gym, not because I was some alpha playing the field, right? But because I was starving for the spark that I was too lazy to create at home. I had turned the woman of my dreams into a roommate that I just resented. I failed because I stopped leading. I let life happen to me instead of being the architect of the relationship. I tell you this, guys, because honestly, I don't want you to have to go through the same thing I did. I don't want you to have to wake up to sign those papers, right? I want you to understand that if your woman is escaping into her phone or her friends, it's because the environment you've built at home is sterile. It's boring. It is not sexy, and she does not feel desired or wanted. When I talk about autonomy, when I talk about competence and relatedness, it's because I lived the opposite, boys. Fire starters, I lost my autonomy. I lost it to a screen. My competence to comfort. And our relatedness was buried under a pile of laundry and resentment, my dudes. Don't be the guy I was 6 years ago. Be the guy I am now. The guy who knows that if the fire is dying, it's because the man stopped feeding it. So let's talk about how we fix that. Let's look at the EMEF framework so you can avoid all the garbage husband clubs stuff and start being the architect of a relationship that she never wants to escape from, my dudes. Come on now. Get her hot. Get her back in that bed. Make her feel like she is yours. Listen, this is where we get tactical. Come on. You know I do this stuff always. But polarity, my dudes, this is the electrical difference between the masculine and the feminine. When you become the same, the current stops flowing, my dudes. And you don't want the current to stop flowing. You want that sucker on high speed fiber optics, baby. Look, boys, you want a decisive presence, right? There's this trap that we all fall into. We get complacent. We ask stuff like, what do you want for dinner? 365 days a year. It forces her into a manager role, which is the ultimate libido killer for the eminently feminine woman. So, what is the EM fix? All right. Don't ask, state. Get ready. We're leaving at 7. Wear the black dress that makes you look so good, baby. Why it works? It removes the cognitive load from her. It signals competence and intentionality. You are taking the burden of choice so she can drop into her feelings. She can feel feminine. She can relax into your arms. Be your woman again. So be her man, right? The eminently feminine method, radiant responsiveness, right? So if you're a lady out there watching this and you want to spark that relationship again, don't become the domestic auditor of your relationship, constantly checking on his tasks, correcting his leadership, right? That is not the approach. You need to use what I call the appreciation pivot, right? The appreciation pivot. When he leads, even small scale, show it in your body. If he picks the movie, lean into him. If he handles a kid's tantrum with calm, ethically masculine strength, you whisper in his ear, I love how you handled that. Now, why does this work? It's unfortunate, but our competence likes to be validated, right? A man who feels respected by his woman will move mountains to keep her happy. Ladies, a guy who feels respected by his woman will move mountains for you. So, what is a 3-second physical anchor that you guys can employ to kind of get that spark going again? All right. So, every time you greet each other after work or something like that, right? I want you to hold the hug for a full 3 seconds longer than usual. I don't want you to talk. Don't speak, right? Just feel the heat between the two of you. This resets the nervous system from work mode to partner mode, baby. It it lubricates everything, man. It makes it all easier. Come on now. You know it does. Make her feel safe, make her feel warm, make her feel wanted. There's another problem. You become real familiar, right? And so you need to use this thing called defamiliarization. Break the blindness, if you will. I mean, desire is not automatic, it's attentional. Neuroscience shows us that attraction increases when attention is intentional. Intentional, right? But here's the problem: the brain is an energy saving machine. It uses a process called neural adaptation. So, Once your brain knows someone, it stops, processing their details to save energy. You literally stop seeing your partner as you once did. They become like a piece of furniture in the room rather than that sexy, hot little chica that you fell in love with. Dang it, brain. I mean, you're not bored because they aren't hot. You're bored because your brain has filed them under predictable asset. We have to force the brain to recategorize them as exciting mystery, right? How do we do that? Number one, the stranger in the room protocol. Come on now. Familiarity breeds blindness. To fix this, you need to witness your partner's autonomy in a space where you aren't the center of their universe. Now, how do you do this? How do you do this? So the next time you're at a party, a gallery, I don't know, a busy park, I want you to physically move like 20 feet away from your partner. Do not look at them through the husband lens. Do not look at them through the wife lens. Look at them through the lens of a stranger. Watch how they use their hands when they speak. Watch how other men or women react to their energy. Remind yourself, this person existed before me and will exist after me. They are a whole world you haven't fully mapped yet. That's hot. The ethically masculine edge is when you regroup, you don't ask, who were you talking to? Right? I mean, come on, man. Instead, you give them a look that says, I see you, and say something like, I forgot how much energy you command in a room. It is incredibly attractive, baby. Number two, do the competence audit, right? I mean, we lose a spark because we see our partners in their low power states. We see them sick. We see them tired after work. We see them upset because they're doing chores for the fifth time. They're mad because you left the light on, the toilet seat up. You need to see them in their apex state, not this tired, broken down version of trash that life throws upon us, right? Go watch your partner do what they are best at. If she's a teacher, watch her command a classroom. If he's a craftsman, watch him in the zone, building or whatever it is that he does, right? Witness a partner's competence. And what this does is it triggers psychological stimulation. It's a shift from caregiver mode to admiration mode. That's what's going on for you. Right. It's hard to want to sleep with a co-manager, but it is very easy to want to sleep with an expert. Make them the expert. Schedule a shadow date. Go to their workplace, their gallery, wherever, they do stuff, their gym. Be a silent observer of their mastery. It's not creepy. You're going out. This is your woman. Number three, employ radical curiosity, right? The unknowing exercise. Most men think they know everything about their woman. And I'm here to tell you, you do not, my dudes. You're going to wake up one morning and they've got the divorce papers sitting ready for you to sign. Look, you don't. You know the version of her that interacts with you, and that's it. And she only knows the version of you that interacts with her, to be honest, right? And so, what's the method? Ask a high stakes question, right? That has nothing to do with your shared life. What is a version of you you've kept hidden because you didn't think it fit into our life together? Tell me something about you that maybe you don't think I'd like. What is the one thing you're most proud of that I haven't acknowledged lately? You are hunting for the eminently feminine depth, right? That has been suppressed with your disgusting lack of attention. Guys, it's been suppressed by the routine of the relationship, by life. And you're reigniting it. You're seeing them differently, right? There's also sensory remapping. The brain ties desire to context. If the only place that you touch her is in the bed has become a place of pressure, not play. Change it up, my dudes. Change the geography of your affection. Make out in the backseat of the car like you're teenagers again, right? Use the kitchen counter pivot while she's doing something mundane. I don't know, cooking, checking the mail. Apply a firm, small touch to the small of her back. Don't say a word. Just stay for 5 seconds. Leave the room. This creates intermittent enforcement, baby. You are breaking the known pattern, and she is gonna like it. You are signaling that your desire is an active, living force that can strike anywhere, not just when the lights are out and the kids are asleep, right? You can do it at any time. Put her up on that washing machine. Use the rhythm, baby. Come on now. All right. Look, there's also this thing called the new eyes checklist, right? The plant the spark new eyes checklist, if you will. Right. Number one, physicality. I want you to notice a physical trait that you haven't complimented on in 3 years. Intellect. I want you to ask about a dream they had before you met and made her boring. Employ some space. Spend 4 hours apart in a social setting before regrouping. Add some awe to the life, right? Find one thing they do better than anyone and tell them why they make that impressive. If you want to keep the spark, you have got to stop being the roommate who knows everything and start being an explorer who had never finished. Life is about the process. Relationships are about the beautiful process of life, enjoying each other in the moment, even in the boring, mundane times. Ethical masculinity is the leader of an expedition. Stay on your mission, lead her into the future. All right. So, what are some ideas that actually work? What are some high dopamine dating ideas? Because I want to kill the worst dating advice ever given to couples. Just do dinner. I mean, look, dinner's fine. It's fine. Dinner's safe. Dinner is also really predictable. I mean, this is someone you've been in a relationship with, and predictability is comfort, right? And comfort is bonding. But attraction feeds on dopamine, not routine, baby. Dopamine spikes when three things are present: novelty, challenge, anticipation. Come on now. Dinner, there's no novelty, there's no challenge, right? Unless you're like, hey, let's go to a hot dog eating contest. Anticipation, oh boy, yay, we're going for tacos for the third night in a row. Look, early dating feels electric because you have all of those things. And it's also why long term couples accidentally starve desire by removing these elements. You stop dating. The honeymoon period's over. What? So you're just roommates now? No. The ethically masculine man re-injects dopamine without acting like a clown or trying too hard, right? We're not acting like clowns. This isn't a circus. You're not putting on a comedy show, my dudes. You are just bringing these things back into the fold, right? Try some competitive dates, the arousal transfer, if you will. Competition raises heart rate, gets that adrenaline spiking, cortisol, the stress hormone. Your brain doesn't care why it's aroused, it just knows that it is. And arousal's fun. Psychology calls this misattribution of arousal, right? The excitement from the activity bleeds into the attraction for the person you're with. A little classical conditioning, if you will, boys. Some high dopamine options, axe throwing. And again, I've talked about this before. I ain't throwing any axes. This just does not sound cool to me. But if that's your thing, if that's your bag, get out there and chuck them axes. Look, you could do bowling with stakes. Loser buys dessert, winner chooses the next date. You could go-kart racing, escape rooms, hit that freaking Six Flags roller coaster, my dudes. Oh my God, I love roller coasters. Play pickleball, although don't hurt yourself, please. And make sure you have some playful trash talk if you're playing pickleball. That's the only way to spice up that piece. Look, the key is that ethical masculinity frames things by inviting her to play, not trying to dominate. Say something like, loser plans the next date, choose wisely. That's confident. That's teasing leadership, my dudes. And she's going to like it. She's going to remember back to those early times when you guys were actually a couple instead of roommates who are playing, Candy Crush solo. Does anybody play that game anymore though? Honestly, no. I didn't think so. You could try the role reversal and power shift date, right? Novelty plus polarity. This desire thrives when roles shift intentionally, not chaotically, right? So, some ideas you might have: one of you plans the entire night, the other just shows up. You could have a yes night. So, within boundaries, you have to say yes to every suggestion by your partner. That's a dangerous one, especially with the women that I date. Costume or theme nights. I mean, dress codes matter more than you think, my dudes. One night only personas, right? Confident executive, mysterious travel, playful troublemaker. Why does this work? I mean, why does role playing work? Your brain stops categorizing your partner as known. You want to know why so many freaky couples are successful? Because they're freaky. They keep it spicy, baby. Novelty restores curiosity. Curiosity fuels desire. And the ethically masculine man doesn't lose frame here. He chooses the container, baby, even when surrendering control inside it. Leadership, frame, autonomy. There's also the sensory dates. These are fun, embodied dopamine, if you will, right? I mean, look, the brain encodes memory and desire through the senses: sight. Ooh, she looks hot, baby. Sound. Oh, I love the tone of her voice. Touch, self-explanatory. Taste, smell, all these things, right? High impact sensory ideas are things like wine or whiskey tasting together, cooking a new cuisine together, blindfolded taste tests at home, if you trust her. Massage night with rules, right? Slow, intentional, teasing, light tickling. Live music, jazz clubs, immersive art exhibits. I mean, come on, man. This works because sensory stimulation pulls you both out of your heads and into your bodies. And that's where attraction lives. Ethical masculinity leads the experience. Baby, tonight is about indulgence. Phones off. She'll love you for it. Another fun date night activity that you can do is the emotional dopamine date, right? Nostalgia. Nostalgia reactivates the same neural networks as early bonding. Your brain doesn't distinguish between remembering excitement and experiencing it. So, what you can do to kind of hijack this system is you recreate the first date. Same place, same drink, whatever, same clothes if you can remember, right? You better remember. Revisit where you first kissed, right? Or first traveled together, right? Play music from when you first met, dance at home, right? I mean, come on, guys, look through old photos and tell the story out loud, right? And this has a really profound psychological effect, right? You remind each other of who you were before life got heavy. That version of you is still there. He just needs to be reintroduced. And guys, a lot of the time it's our fault, right? We are the leaders, man. We have got to make sure we maintain that connection. We've got to keep it strong instead of letting it fizzle out. Quit being lazy, apathetic turds and become ethically masculine. Unlike I was 6 years ago, and I lost the woman who I thought was the woman of my dreams. There's also a anticipation engineering, right? This is the secret weapon. Look, dopamine spikes before the reward, not during it, my dudes. Ethical masculinity uses anticipation deliberately. Do this, right? Mention the date a couple days ahead, right? Drop subtle hints, just subtle, right? Just string her along. And then send a suggestive, confident text midday, right? Something like, I don't know, clear your evening. I've been thinking about you all day and I intend to do something about it. That's not needy. That's intentional. And she is going to love it. You want to make her wet? Make her feel wanted. Make her feel wanted. Make her feel desired. Let her get back into her eminent femininity. Come on now. And guys, here's a unifying principle behind all of it, right? The leadership rule. Ethical masculinity doesn't ask, what do you want to do? It says be ready at 7, trust me, right? It's not controlling, it's not arrogant. It's grounded leadership that creates safety. And safety allows her to be excited, right? To fall back into her feminine polarity, which is so different from your masculine polarity, right? That's how dopamine and desire coexist long term. Safety plus those spikes of desire fueled by dopamine. Oxytocin is great, but you need the excitement too. But Mike, we've got kids and there are so many chores, and these are basically just passion assassins. Yeah, no kidding. You have to create sanctuary zones. Come on now. If you want passion amidst the chaos of kids and life, look, set a timer for 20 minutes after the kids go to bed. And the rule is you can't talk about money, you can't talk about schedules, and you cannot talk about children. If one of you brings up the school form that just has to be signed, the other person gently touches the arm and says, not in the window, baby. Tell me about that dream you had. It might be annoying at first, but they'll lean into it. The midday heat, right? The midday heat text. Ethically masculine men send a text at 2 p.m. Not, did you get milk? But I can't stop thinking about, and then you give them some specific memory. Cannot wait for tonight. It builds anticipation, which is 50% of the erotic experience, my guys. Come on, this is easy work, light work. You just have to know what to do. And that's why you're at Plant the Spark, baby. Working with me. Guys, avoidance is the slow poison of desire, right? Ethically masculine men lead the conflict repair. If there's a problem in your relationship, you don't wait for her to make the change. You don't wait for her to say sorry or whatever you're looking for, right? You need the connection first. If you're bickering, the ethically masculine man stops the cycle. What's the script look like? Hey, hold on. We're doing that thing where we act like enemies. I'm on your team. I want us to be connected. Not right. Let's start over. Why it works, it provides emotional safety. An eminently feminine woman cannot feel desired if she doesn't feel safe. By leading the repair, you prove that you can be hot and crazy and dopamine and the safe, grounded anchor. Again, both. Polarity, my guys. Mix it up. Tension and safety, tension, safety. But not chaos, not too much. Come on now. Fire starters, the spark didn't disappear overnight. It gets burned out under the laundry of life. Ethical masculinity doesn't hope attraction survives, he cultivates it. Eminent femininity, ladies, they don't want a perfect life. They want a present man. Don't settle for being good roommates. Choose to be dangerous lovers. Hit subscribe. Share this with a brother who's losing his edge in the domestic fog. And if you're ready to master the full framework, I've put out digital manuals on how to maintain the relationship and the heat in your relationship. And I'm going to have them linked below. Don't just watch, guys. Take action. I'm Mike, your dating, relationship, and life coach. This is Plant the Spark. And I'm telling you right now, boys, you want to keep it hot? Feed that fire.